and welcome back to WFMJ Community Connection, and welcome to Jere B and Jim Couchenour from Sound Doctrine.
Hey.
Sound Doctrine is here. How are you guys doing?
Excellent.
I'm doing good too, and I want to just say, you know, I told everybody in the studio I'm going to just ad-lib because I've known Jere B forever, you know, and Jim Couchenour, your family, your mom and dad are just so awesome, you know, and they've raised a wonderful son.
Absolutely.
But Sound Doctrine has a new CD that hit when I was unfortunately a little under the weather, but music can be a healing process, now can't it?
Yes, it can.
Now,
Definitely.
I want our viewers, they just saw it, endurance. Jere B, what does endurance mean?
Endurance means standing against all opposition, however it may come, physically, emotionally, or spiritually.
Well, I think that describes everything that I want to be and that I kind of want to embed in everyone this morning, and that is, man, it's been tough to endure over the last couple of months.
Yes, it has.
It really has, and I will say to our viewers as well, Jim's family and Jere, you know, folks couldn't get into the hospital to see me, but Jim and Pat Couchenour made their way up to St. Elizabeth Hospital as well as Jere B. And, you know, I was really, I don't know, I was kind of in bad shape, you know, and I appreciate, you know, your family, Jim, and you, Jere, for not, you know, being mean to me, or not being mean to me, but saying, oh my God, look how bad she looks, you know, look how swollen up she is, and that type of thing. But it's just a pleasure to be able to see both of you again, number one, but to talk about endurance and to talk about what this music does for the soul. I believe that music can be a healing process, but Jim, I know what a great keyboardist you are.
Amen.
I mean, you're excellent. But how did you hook up with Jere B? How did that happen?
It's kind of an interesting story. I'll give you the short version. But I was leading worship at my church, New Hope Community Church, and really felt a sense of calling to do something kind of beyond the walls of the church and get into kind of a ministry outside the church. So I was browsing New York music one day and saw a flyer saying keyboardist needed. And here's the website. So I emailed Jere, and he emailed me back, gave me like a 2 or 3 page application. You know, how much money do you make? You know,
you have to apply.
Literally, and so I filled it all out, thinking, "Wow, this guy takes us seriously." And then we called and set up a meeting at Paneras, and got to know each other. And the more I talked with him, and the more he talked with me, it seemed like we really had an alignment of where we both wanted to be headed in terms of music and ministry. And so that was about over 3 years ago.
And look where you are now. And you know what? Your music is indeed a ministry. Now, it's described on your website as alternative jazz fusion. What does it say, Jere? Just tell our folks what it all says.
It's original alternative funk jazz fusion. It's one word.
Yes.
And, you know, you run into the obstruction of having other people define your music. And that was one of the ways that we knew that we could define it. It's not smooth jazz. It's not Christianese or gospel or praise and worship. It's a fusion or a mix of everything that we enjoy personally and that God has given us to come out of us creatively. And it's all of that. We love classical to country to funk to jazz, and it is what it is. It's all fused together, and it makes a great sound. And that's what you're listening to, viewers. What's behind us is chai tea, which will, you know, will be our theme music here on WFMJ Community Connection. I'm just so excited about it. I don't know what to do. It seems like it's been so long coming. But you know, I'm not going to complain. Not complaining anymore. But I'm just so glad that, I mean, our viewers are having a chance to listen to it now, and it's just awesome. It's just absolutely great. We want to give credit where credit is due. I mean, Paul Downs on guitar, Phil DeBeat on bass, Cliff Barnes, who is our keyboardist, Keith McKelly, and Mike Austin on saxophone. So, you know, we've all come together to create this stew.
And it's a good stew. It tastes really good and sounds good. I love it. I love it. Well, you know, when we talk about endurance, one thing that I thought was really cool is the cover. Now, where did this picture come from?
Well, interestingly enough, during Black History Month back in February, I was presented with an email, and I usually don't answer forwards. I mean, you know, when forwards come, it's been sent to 1,000 people, but the PowerPoint presentation in the email was called Lest We Forget.
Lest We Forget.
Lest We Forget. And of the civil rights pictures that were portrayed in that, this particular one came up, and it just so happened that that hit me to the core because I was in a situation where I was really standing against some spiritual opposition, and I had to really take a stand for what was right and what was true and righteous. And when I looked at that little boy there standing against all of that chaos going on around him, it kind of identified with me and hit to the core. So I had to convince the guys that it wasn't just a particular statement about the civil rights era, because we have to be aware of our demographic. But at the same time, we have to stand, and that little boy stood strong. Standing in the midst of a lot of adversity. Exactly right.
And you know what? That's what endurance is all about.
Exactly.
And I have to really say, you know, I can't brag enough about Jim Couchenour's parents, you know, which is Jim Sr. and Pat. And I mean, again, I belong to a sarcoidosis group that helps people to deal with sarcoid, and that's how I came in contact with Pat and Jim. And Jim, your parents are just outstanding, number one, but are they musically inclined?
They both sing.
Okay.
And my mom plays the piano some, and the dulcimer and some other things. But yeah, I'm very thankful for the heritage that they've passed on, both musically and spiritually.
All right. Now, what is that you have there, Jim?
Well, we want to make a presentation to you.
Don't make the host cry. Don't make the host cry.
And, you know, we want to give this to you because you really embody the symbol of endurance. This ordeal, you know, it broke your back, but it didn't break your spirit. This ordeal separated you from your father, but it didn't separate you from your faith. And so to us, you embody endurance, and we want you to have this.
Oh my. Didn't I tell you guys you're not supposed to make the host cry? This is really, really beautiful, and I will hang it in my office. Definitely. I kind of want to hang it at home so that I can look at it every morning and know that I can endure. It's been a tough time. It really has. But I tell folks that a positive attitude can make anything happen for anyone. And as we continue to endure, music that sounds real good from sound doctrine can help me to endure and can help me to do so much more. Now, I just want to thank you. I didn't expect these guys to do this, so that kind of like threw me off just a little bit, and I'm not going to cry. But I do want to tell you as we close up that I want you to visit me at the WFMJ tent this week at the Canfield Fair. I'll be there on Wednesday. We're going to have a good time, and Sound Doctrine will be there what night?
September 2nd.
September the 2nd.
September 2nd.
So you'll get to hear some good music too.
On the Shooting Star stage.
On the Shooting Star stage, so make sure that you're there. Again, thank you so much for joining us for WFMJ Community Connection, and have a great week. Hope to see you again next week. This was great.
Community Connection is a production of 21 WFMJ.